Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Everyone knows that in the last lecture we have discussed descriptive statistics and we were performing the practical of measures of central tendency. We have calculated the mean, median, mode from a CSV file. Today's lecture is also based on the measure of central tendency, means the difference or the deviation of central value. So we are going to calculate mean, median and mode. Yesterday we calculated it using the CSV file. Today we will do it using the NumPy library by generating random numbers. So the today's lecture is totally based on practical and we will be using Anaconda environment for our practical. So I am opening Anaconda and we will use Jupyter notebook inside Anaconda, telling that I am writing Jupyter notebook and pressing enter. It will open the Jupyter notebook and then we will start our coding in that environment. So it has opened. You have to go to the new and click Python 3. It will automatically open the new file. If it is not opening, just wait a minute, it will do it for you in seconds. Now I am starting the programming. Today's lecture is based on practical of the measures of central tendency, is the measure of mean, median and mode. But today there are no CSV file. We are doing practical programming in Python. We will do a front of us and then we can calculate all the things. So import numpy as np. It is the single line execution in Jupyter notebook. So what we are doing, I am running it and it is successfully performed the execution. Now in the second line I am making my own variable set, and after making this I am writing np dot random dot randint. Okay, so this is the dataset variable, and in the dataset variable I am assigning the ranges. The first argument is 7, the second is 10, means that all the random numbers generated are between 7 and 10. And how many random numbers you want to generate is the third argument. So I have written 20 numbers are generated. So I have successfully run it. Now we want to see uh, our output. So what we are doing, we are running it and you all can see it has generated 20 random numbers, because the third argument of np.random.randint is the number of, is the total numbers, and 7 and 10 are the boundaries, means the number which are generated are always between 7 and 10. So you can see there are 20 list of 20 numbers. Now what we can do, by generating these numbers we can calculate their mean. So I am writing np dot mean, very simple in Python, and the name of the variable which consists of these 20 numbers. So I am running it. It has already told us the mean. Now we can calculate the median in the same way. Single line execution made it very easy for us. So what we have done, we have calculated the median. Now I am pressing run button. You can see the median, the central value is already calculated. For the mod it is not like that. For to import a library in Python which is known as statistics. So from the statistics library I am importing and pressing enter for going to the next line, and I am writing, it is not like np.mod, it is different from mean and median. So I am writing mod, and in the bracket I am writing the variable I want to calculate, for which I want to calculate the mod. So I have run. You can see it has told us the most repeated value, which is the 8. So in this lecture we are doing practical performance of all the measures of central tendency, including the mean, including the median, including the mode. But all these are calculated, all these are generated using the NumPy library. So moving forward, we are able to calculate the mean, median and mode of all these numbers. So what we are going to do, we are going towards our next step, and the next step is to take the sample, from the generated data. What is meant by taking the sample? Let me explain you in a little bit easier way. Listen, I am making a new file in front of you. That is the new Python file. That is the new Jupyter notebook file. Remember each and every step. I'm writing them for your, and so please focus. Now we are doing the same thing. We are calculating the measures of central tendency, but in this part of the lecture, I am going to calculate the mean, median and mode by two different ways. First, I will take the big random data set and I will calculate the mean, median and mode. That is very simple, but now it is not very simple, because in the second part of my lecture, I will take the sample from the big data and will calculate the mean, median and mode. Then you will get to know that how much a sample deviates from the whole population. Let us do it and you will understand each and every line of my code if you focus on the screen. So what I am writing, see, I am making a variable my data, and nothing is new I'm doing, everyone knows. So I am writing np dot random dot randint, and after that I am assigning that all the numbers generated should be between 10 and 20, and how many numbers you want to generate is the third argument. So I am running it. Okay, it has generated the data. Let me see how the data looks like. So I am writing print my data, which is the name of the variable. Let me run it, and you can see it has generated 100 numbers. All the numbers are between the range of 10 and 20. Now this is the old thing we have discussed in the part 1, but the new thing is here, and the new thing is very important. I am taking samples from the whole data. Let me do it in front of you. I have one sample. How one sample? I have made a variable named as sample1. Now this is the function of numpy, and very important, a very interesting function, np dot random dot choice. What it will do, np dot random dot choice will choice the numbers from your data. I have choiced numbers from my data. My data is an array consists of 100 elements. I am taking sample of only 15. Okay, so it will take the random sample of 15 elements. Okay, now I am taking another sample, that is sample 2. You can see this sample by writing print my sample, print sample1 under brackets. So you can do it easily, but I am not. I am taking this by using a very important function, np dot random dot choice. Okay, so I am again writing my data, and again I want my to take 15 random samples. Okay, so let me move to run it and move towards the another line. Now I am taking the third sample, and every child in this class, a student in this class, take at least 4 samples from the given data. And what is the given data? The given data is my data. You can see the array on your screen. So what I am doing, I am taking now the third sample, and this is also the set of 15 elements. Now moving towards the next line, I am taking my fourth sample, sample 4. Why I am taking these samples? There is a great logic behind this taking of. Will explain after a few minutes. We will calculate the mean, median, mode of these samples, and we will also calculate the mean, median, mode of whole the data, and then we can discuss that how the sample generalize the characteristics of whole data. So I am taking my last sample. np.random.choice, that is my sample 4, and I am writing my data because I want it to take from my samples, and I have taken 4 samples successfully. Okay, now after taking 4 samples, you want to see any of the one sample in 4 of my sample, you can do it. But if you are interested, you can see how the values of my sample look like. So I am showing it for one sample and I am running it. You can see it is showing the sample 1 because it has taken 15 elements from the complete data set. So if you want to see all of the 4 samples, you can see it's on your choice. Okay, so all the samples have been taken and we have taken 4 samples. Now I am doing some mathematical manipulation that is very necessary. Let us see the code, let us see the screen very carefully so that we can get a detailed idea. I am writing all samples. Okay. Samples is a variable, and what I am doing, I am storing an array in this variable. What is the array? I am storing all the samples. Sample 1, I have made a list, not a, you can call it a list as well. And in this in this list of all samples, I am storing all one by one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. On place 0 there is sample 1. On place 1 there is sample 2. So I am the name of all of them, sample 1, 2, and sample 3, and now sample 4. So all 4 samples are now stored in this list. The name of the list is all samples. Everyone knows what is sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4. Okay, it is clear. Now I am making an empty list. What is that empty list? This empty list names sample mean. Just empty, there is nothing in this list. This list is empty. Now I am doing the very important thing in front of you. I want to calculate the mean of each sample, and after calculating the mean of each sample, I want the collective mean, and at the end I want to compare these samples mean with the total mean. That's why I am telling you that I am considering the whole population in the first step, and in the second step I am not considering the whole population. I am taking a sample from the population and then calculating the mean. I want to know how much the sample data deviates from the whole collective data. So what I am doing, I am writing a very important thing, that is the for loop, and I want to run this for loop where in list, which list, all samples. And in this for loop, what I am going to write in this for loop, I am writing sample mean. This I am going to fill that empty variable sample mean dot append, means we are going to add in this list, in this empty list, what we are going to add, we are going to add np dot mean. That is the function for calculating the mean. And which mean we are going to calculate? We are going to calculate the mean of sample 1 individually, then sample 2, then 3, then 4. So I am writing here I. So I will automatically go, when the loop starts, I will automatically go to the 0th position and will calculate the mean of all these. Then the loop runs again. I will go to the first position and calculate the mean of this sample 2. Then I is 2, it will go to the 3rd position. When I is 3, it will go to the 4th position, and it will calculate the mean of all samples individually. And what it will do at the end? At the end, it will generate an array, a list, which is empty list sample mean first, which is empty, but at the end it is not empty, it consists of 4 means. And we want to see that let me come out of the loop, and I am printing in front of you what I am printing. I am printing sample mean. That was the empty list, but after running the loop the list will not be empty. Now let us run this and we will see what is our final output. You can see there are all samples. The sample mean is empty. When we run the loop on this, sample mean is now filled with np mean I, means the mean of sample 1. Here it is written the mean of sample 2. Here it is written the mean of sample 3. Here it is written the mean of sample 4. There are 4 means. And what are these means? These means are generated from the samples taken from the whole population. Now I am going to do a very interesting, a very important thing. What is this important thing? I am writing here the mean of all samples. What I am going to do, I am calculating the collective means of all these fours. So all these fours are involved in the variable sample mean. So what I am doing here, listen it carefully, see it carefully. A comma, I am placing a comma, and I am going to calculate here the mean np dot mean. But now this mean is the collective of all the 4 sample means. So I am writing here the variable sample mean, which is originally the name of the list. Which list? This list which contains the mean of sample 1, sample 2, sample 3 and sample 4. This line I am going to print will calculate the mean of all these. Now at the end I am going towards the most important thing. What is that most important thing? That most important thing is the mean of whole population. Because my final target, what was my final target? Because my final target was that I want to calculate the deviation. I want to know the deviation of the samples mean from the mean of whole population. So I am writing here the mean of whole data or population is, we're going to write here np dot mean. But what I will write in this variable, can anyone tell me? I have to write here my data. Why I am writing here my data? Everyone can see that my data is the variable which consists of the data of all the population, all the 100 elements. But these samples contains 15 random elements: sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4. What is the main idea behind this program? We have calculated samples from these 100 elements, and we calculate the mean of these samples individually, and find their total mean. And on the other hand, we have taken all the whole population and then calculating the mean. So these two lines are the most necessary and the most conceptual and the most important line of this program, because this line will calculate the mean of all the samples and this line will calculate the mean of whole population. So let us see how much they differs, and we will get a very clear idea about it. So you can see the mean of all samples is 14.933 and the mean of whole data or the population is 14.83. There is a very little deviation in points. This is clearing the concept. This is telling us that if there is a population of millions, trillions, zillions, so what we have to do, we are not going to take or analyze the whole population. This short program gives the very big idea that the sample taken from the population will not deviate too much. It only a difference of plus minus 2% or 3%. in most of the cases. So when there is a big population, you already know you will solve your work, you will solve your problem, you will handle your work, you will do your analysis by using samples, but neglecting the whole population. Just take the samples and enjoy it. Let me show you all the things from we have done today in today's lecture in a short presentation. You can see we have generated the random data for your easiness, for your understanding. What I have done, what I have done for your understanding, we have written all the things separately as well. So if you want to import the data, the range in which between the data is, and the number of data points, so you can do it by using numpy. Moving forward, you want to generate the mean of data set, so you can calculate the mean. Np dot mean, you can calculate the median. Np dot median. And for the mod, you are not going to use np. For the mod, you have to write, you have to import mod from the statistics library, and then you can do mod. Now going to the next slide, there is another example, the same example in which the number of data points are increased, and you can see the population data. Then you have to calculate the mean, then the median, and then the mod. It is the same example but with the greater number of data points. And in the third point is very important. You are going to generate the data same as in the previous slide, but the important thing that you are going to take samples from this whole data. You are not going to take this whole data. You have taken a sample of 15 elements, and these 15 elements are stored in the variable sample 1 2 3 4. So you have printed all the samples. These are 4 samples taken randomly using the function np dot random dot choice. The numpy library allows us to take the sample of 15 and 15 and 15 from the whole data. And the last thing what we have to do, you have to store all the samples in this variable. Then you made an empty variable. By using the for loop, you calculate the mean of all these samples by using the for loop. First the mean of this sample, then this, then this, and this. All the means are stored in this empty list, and here are the mean of sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4. And the last but not the least, the most important concept behind all our programming environment, behind all our programming practice, that we are going to calculate the mean of the samples taken at the first step, and after that we have taken the mean of the complete population that was stored as the variable my data. So the mean of the samples and the mean of the total population will not deviate so much. So you can see here is the first answer and here is the second answer. So this short programming gives us the clear idea that if there are millions of people in a data set, so you are not going to analyze all of them. You are going to take just samples from your data, and the sample will generalize the concept and will give you the complete information. For your easiness, we have already made a cheat sheet of numpy usage, that how to import the library, how to use the randint function, how to assign the ranges, how to calculate mean, median, mod, and how to use the random dot choice function. That's all for today lecture. If anyone have questions, then he or she can ask, and all these files will be shared in the links description. Thank you so much.